Good day, yogi. This is a practice targeting our hips, movement into the hips. So I wish you a great session. Remember to adapt it to make it as easeful and flowy that it can be with your own body. So I meet you in this child pose, the forehead down, the knees are apart, and you are giving attention to your hips. Feeling your breath in and out. Natural way of breathing. Maybe bringing any intention that you have for this practice, whether you need to push yourself or to take it a bit easy. So we'll then come on all four, and I'm going to lift our feet. We're going to dive our thigh down and lifting from the sternum. So try to do a few of those. You bring the thigh forward and then back down. Each time you are squeezing your glute to keep it strong. When you come forward and back into the child pose, you release. And to that movement, you can add a bit of a spinal movement. So engaging more of the roundness and curve into your spine as you keep squeezing the glute when your feet are lifted and coming down. At your own pace, try to see what works. And then we still, both feet lifted and pointing up, we're going to be swaying them from one side to the other. Just reaching sideways, going to see the hips sort of follow the movement. And you're not really leaving the feet down rather than just tapping to one side. And then we'll come into down dog, taking your time to settle your down dog with that nice activation of your arms and back. You are pushing through all 10 knuckles of your fingers. Shoulders are elevating. And then we'll be sort of bending one leg and the other one into your down dog. You can do it a bit dynamic at the beginning, and then we'll focus into bending one leg and bringing the awareness onto the leg that stays straight, in the way of that leg really had to get the tailbone as high as possible. And as we lengthen through that leg, trying to lift the toes of the leg straight. So now let go of the bending of the legs, and we're going to come into this kind of planking shape. And we'll be lifting our left leg. So you bend your leg and you're going to cross over your right leg. And as you touch the ground, your knee goes down and you bend into the left leg. So let's go with the other side. Right leg lifted, the foot touch the ground. As my knee touches the ground, I bend into my left leg. We're going to do plenty of those. If you didn't get it from the first time, let's try again. So when my foot touches the ground over, I'm lowering my knee and I'm bending into that straight leg. And so here you sort of have your legs into sort of W shape, sort of. One leg forward, one leg back. And you're going to focus into bringing a tuck under onto your tailbone, like you are lengthening that lower back area. And I do like here to just having a fall forward action in the back towards the hip, and feeling it into lengthening that right hip flexor. So try the same thing on the other side. So switch to your other side, right leg forward, tuck under of the tailbone, feel that lengthening action, and then just a little bow forward with head and upper body. And when you release, you're going to cross back your legs to come back where we've started into this plank, or even if you've moved 90 degrees onto your mat. And I'm offering a little flowy of this same movement, trying to find how you can flow into this movement. So use your arms and then the foot lower and you're bending into your legs. Let's do that a few times at your own pace. And last one, to come back into a down dog. Resetting. Those sitting bones reaching up. Welcome to bend the legs if it's easier for you into down dog. Lengthen your neck, the head is dropping, and keep pushing through your arms. Feeling that full stretch into your back. Welcome to do again that bending the leg and lift of the toes of the leg that remain straight. You will feel it into the hamstring. Feels good, I find. So just explore what feels good for you. You can do also a little sort of bends of the leg straight, like if you are bending the knee and straightening, and do it that few times on each side. Before you walk your feet forward, little step until you find to your maximum where you can sort of fall over, and taking your time to come into a standing position. Again, resetting the feel here, and I'm suggesting to carry on with trying to move our hips. So there is a circular movement, but you can just start with sort of a tuck under of the tailbone. So that finding that movement of forward and back of the pelvis, and then side to side. So if you bring your hands onto your hips, and can you push up? Personally find it quite challenging to isolate the movement and not moving from the belly but from the hips joint. So explore what works for you. Maybe you can then do some little circle, finding that all 4 directions, and then we'll come back into a more traditional posture to bring the arms up as we inhale, exhaling into a forward bend, and next inhale, lift the upper chest. I exhale into your forward bend and walk your hands into forward to find your down dog, lifting the left leg. Let's try with one leg lifted to get back into that motion of circling the hips. So it's actually very hard to make it happening from the hips and not from the leg. So see if that works for you, and explore with the other leg. Same thing, right leg lifted, and how to do the circle from the hips. I'm personally still working on it. And then I suggest that we go back into that hips great action of lifting one leg bent and finding that side twist into the side. Then your right leg is going to come in between your hands to come into a lunge. So setting up into your lunge, and we're going to bring back this movement of the hips into the lunge. So finding those circular movement, which is not that easy to find. And then diving gently the tailbone down, pushing back up, and this time we're going to bring your foot sort of further towards the right and falling into this. And same thing to the left. So you go past the middle line to the right, you let your knee following the angle of your foot and fall into this. Come back to the center and to the left, pointing 45 degrees to the left. So let's do that a couple of times for each side before you come back into your down dog. And we will start again with the left leg forward, settling into your lunge with the movement into your hips. Gentle circles. And then my foot is going to point to the left, and I lower, my knee is following the direction of my toes. Same thing to the right, back to center. I'm leaning into it, dropping the tailbone. And one more time, my foot is to the left, the knee follow, and I lower to the right. You should feel your thigh and your hips working hard here. Stepping back into your down dog. Again, we're going to be stepping the right leg in between your hands, but this time we lower the knee, and again we bring that tuck under of the tailbone. And with a little folding over towards your leg, if you wish, before you drop your tailbone down. And here we will be lifting that left foot up, pointing toward your glute. And so here it may be challenging, so see, with or without using your hands, to bring that left leg forward without touching the ground. Your right arm catch your foot or anywhere along the leg that is possible when your left arm comes down, and you're going to travel your foot sideways. So that will be the most challenging of this posture, to find a curve into your upper body and see where can you bring that foot. Before you release, you plant that left foot down, keep the bend into your right leg, and push your hips up as you let go of the arm over you. Let's do that a couple of times. Pushing the hips up, and then catch again your foot or along the leg with your right arm and travel your leg sideways toward your left shoulder. And then here try to cross over, so put your foot behind that right leg and finding almost like a variation of your plank, and then catch again your foot, travel it sideways and cross this time behind your left arm to plant your foot and coming into that Skandasana pose with the foot pointing up, your left leg and right leg is straight. And then re-bring that left leg straight and pushing the hips up as you keep the right leg bent a few times. So we do that quite a few times so that you try to get it. Catch the foot sideways. Make some space onto your right leg if you need more space as you lift the foot, and then cross the leg, plant the foot, find that side plank posture, cross the foot over, and then behind your left arm to fold over your right leg. Hope you were with me. We will redo it because perhaps I don't explain it as clearly as it could be, so I will train myself again. And in the meantime, we're going to do the same thing on the other side. So left foot in between your hands to find that low lunge. Your right knee is down, tuck under of your tailbone as you drop the head and the upper body into a sort of fall forward position. And lowering your tailbone, bending your right foot, the foot comes up toward your butt. And if it's your first time with that practice, it might be challenging to lift the knee up here and keep without touching the ground without the hand. If not, use your hands, getting that right leg straight. And your left arm catch your foot or along the leg. Travel your leg toward your right side. Still push onto your left leg to lift your hips. Then plant your heel down, still that right leg, and lift your hips up. Again, push up, strengthen your right leg, and catch your foot once you've got the catch or anywhere along the leg, travel sideways. Keep pushing through your left foot to bring the hips a bit higher. Then plant your heel, push the hip up, and here the foot passes behind, so the right leg passes behind the left. You plant the side at the edge of your foot as you extend your right arm up, and then you bring the leg to the other side, the right side, to find Skandasana. Onto the other side. Are we still together? Okay, let's do it again. To the side, the foot, to the middle, I catch, I bring it to my right side, and then behind my right arm as I lower into the tailbone. This pose is called Skandasana, so you can stay here a bit longer. If you need to have your hands with support, then that's fine. Otherwise, you can stretch out your arms up as you interlace your finger. And we'll do a bit of movement from one side to the other into this shape. So sort of, if you need to use the hand, that's totally fine. It can help you coming up, and if you don't, then you will just activate a bit more strength into the legs as you lift. And keep imagining you've got spring in your legs and it lifts you from one side to the other. Then we will settle down, so sit into this shape and just lift your right leg to start with, and I suggest to just hold on the back of the calf to isolate the movement of the ankle, just feeling the circulation of that ankle joint from one side to the other. And so the idea of just holding your calf is so that we're not moving the entire leg when we do this. And let's do it on the other side. So flick to the other side. We are with the left leg, lifting, holding onto the calf if you can reach there, and again circulating the foot and finding that mobility of the ankle, which really is a beautiful feel I find. Okay, and then back into Skandasana, lifting and flowing from one side to the other. Then we'll bring back our knees down and find an all four, and you can just enjoy the all four to release a bit all what we've done, and just perhaps just movement of sending your hips side to side, or to go into more circular shape. And getting back where we're starting with, remember lifting our feet, and we dive the thigh forward towards the mat as the chest follows, and adding the spinal movement to it a few times, and swaying our feet side to side as we keep them up, strengthening your glutes the whole time you're doing those moves. And then lifting into your down dog. Right leg is gonna lift, and from that we'll try to step the foot forward and balance here into the right leg into warrior 3. So ideally we're trying to level the heel with the butt and the shoulder. Body is parallel. As you come out of your balance, you squeeze the knee into the chest, trying to keep the right leg straight. And we go back into that same side of warrior 3, balancing. Heel level with butt and shoulder. Knee to chest as we release. And one last time on this side. Hugging the knee into chest. And then step back to find your down dog. And let's do the same onto our left side. So lift your leg first, point the foot up, then step the foot in between your hands and start balancing onto that left leg. Leveling the right leg. It is a bit more challenging if you want to extend your arm by your ears or keep them to the chest. Then we bring the knee into chest, reach up, and we straighten the left leg. And again, you know the flow, we go back. Warrior 3, finding the stability in the balance and bringing the knee into chest. One more time, balance, level, feel that full extension from your heel to crown of the head. Bring the knee into chest, straighten your left leg. And our last time, warrior 3, maybe with the arm by your ears, and then bring your hands down, find your down dog. Reset, find your down dog shape that feels good for you. And here you can stay longer into down dog, or if you like a bit of arms activation, we're gonna stack our shoulder on top of the wrist as we keep the leg lifted with the idea, so right leg lifted, and the idea to step forward your left foot as you have the right leg in the air. So it's a sort of kick handstand with the idea of moving forward. So see, even if it's the beginning, really strong arms here, and you elevating your shoulder, pushing them up. And back into planking, and our favorite movement, left leg lift, bend to your left, twisting, follow with your upper body. Right hand on left knee. Tuck under of your tailbone. Sure you remember. And then using your arms to slide out of your twist, back where we've started into down dog. Resetting. And this time getting ready for the right leg to lift as we are into plank. Step the right foot and bending into the left leg. Going into your twist. Left arm on right knee. Using your arms. Tuck under of the tailbone. And coming back, you can lift your right leg and do a hop handstand. Back planking, left leg lift. Bend the leg across from the right. Knee touch the ground, twisting. Right arm on left knee. Tuck under of the tailbone. Little bow to the head towards the legs. Coming back down dog. Lifting the leg and little kick handstand. Bringing back both feet together into a fold forward. And walking your hands or stepping back your feet into down dog. We're going to review now all what we've done. So lunging, right foot in between your hands, circling the hips from side to side into the lunge. Then stepping your foot to the right, bend into that side. Back to center. Step that front foot to the left. Your knee follows the direction. Lower. Come back to the center and lower your knee down. Left knee is down. Bow of the upper body forward, and you can come into a sort of back bend as you allow the upper body to drop back. Then lifting your left foot up towards the glute and finding the way to lift the knee, balancing left leg straight. Catching the foot with your opposite arm. Right arm, left foot. Traveling your foot to your left. Pushing into your right leg to lift slightly with the hips up. Then plant that left foot down. Push onto your left arm and the hips reach up. One more time. Here you can just tap hand and foot as you lower. So push the hips up, then lower and tap hand, foot. 3 times. Next one, travel that leg behind your arm. That your left leg is straight and you are folding into your right leg. And then again, plant your foot forward, and then come back into your down dog. And we start on the other side. Left foot step in between your hands, lunging, circling the hip side to side. Then bringing that front foot to the left, bending back to center, to the right, folding into it. And again, back to center. Drop the knees this time. Lift your back foot, pointing up towards the butt, finding the balance onto that left leg to lift the right knee off the ground and to come forward with the leg straightened. Catching the foot, left arm, right foot, travel to the right. Then plant the foot, push the hips up and tap, foot, hand. Lift up and tap. Lift, push through your hips, tap hand and foot. One more time, lift into your hips, and this time cross your foot behind your right arm to come into Skandasana. We've been here, should be a bit more clear. Then come through again, catch the foot, travel it to your right shoulder toward it, and come back into down dog. Awesome, I hope it worked this time for you. That we're starting registering our body starting remembering. So we're gonna starting slowly winding down, so stepping your feet forward and coming onto your mat, rolling onto your back with the knees tucked in, and using this to settle back in, just feeling already the effect of the practice into those hips and all the rest of the body. Really, you can grab the outer edge of your feet with the knees apart and dropping towards the ground, trying to feel how the lower back can widen into the ground here. You might like to rock side to side or just stay here. And then let's go for a twist. Both knees together to the right, gazing to the left as you extend your arm. You can also bring the top foot, the right foot, on top of your left knee. And just softening here. Sometimes we still encounter some tension or tightness, but it's a time to bring back the idea of spaciousness amongst our tissues around the joint. And out of your twist, and keep your foot on top of the knee as you come holding hand and your knee and your foot towards you, and then drop both knees to your left into your twist. And same thing, you can have the top foot on top of the opposite knee as you get to the right with the extension of your arm, softening into the shape. And then lifting and bringing hands onto your opposite knees. So the knee that has got the foot can be pulled toward you, and the free knee on your left can be pushed out if you are looking for more stretch at this end. And then relax as you might like to sway your legs side to side to again just releasing fully all those tissues around your hips. You might like to take a last big stretch with the arms overhead before you settle back into your Shavasana, where you can stay longer and acknowledge the effect of the practice. If you don't have time and need to get back into the real world, then thank you for being here today. Well done for having practiced and having dedicated some time for your own mind and body. Thank you so much for practicing with me today. I hope it offers you a wonderful practice and that we meet you again behind the screen. Namaste. Have a great, great day.